If you're in need of Ultimate Team coins, check out IGXE.com in the description below, and if you use the code TRAY at checkout, you can get yourself 5% off. What is up, guys? TRayALLDay here, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Nantes crew. I have to thank you guys so much for the support on the first 2 videos. It really blew me away. I wasn't expecting nearly as much support on those first 2 videos as there was. Now, on a normal day, any video that I upload will usually get between 20 and 30 likes. That's normal for me, and that's usually what I expect, and that's what I was expecting the Nantes crew to get on that first day I uploaded it. Now, in a 24-hour span, less than that in fact, you guys smashed 75 likes, which is unbelievable. That's actually a new record for likes smashed in a day on my channel, so I really can't thank you guys enough for the support on the series. I was really hoping this would go down well because I'm really enjoying it, and I hope you guys are as well. It's obvious you guys are enjoying it as well, so I want to continue doing it. I was really afraid it was going to become another dud career mode that I had that really just died after a few episodes, and I don't want that to happen with this one. I want this one to be another long-running career mode alongside the Fulham career mode, which you'll see tomorrow. I'm going to try to offset these ones every other day. So I have the Nantes career mode out today, Fulham out tomorrow, Nantes the next day, Fulham the day after that, etc, etc. You guys get the drift of it, and I want to keep it kind of going this way. Although I think tomorrow I'm going to upload another Nantes career mode just because the last 2 videos on my channel are Fulham videos, so I want to kind of keep it the same thing. So we're going to do 2 Nantes career modes and then go back into that schedule where it's going to be Fulham, Nantes, Fulham, Nantes, Fulham, Nantes, etc, etc. But anyway, after the last episode ended, which if you did miss, we did play our first game of the series, which we won 3-0 thanks to Jordan Verretu's 2 freaking, not open play goals, is what I'm trying to say. He scored a free kick and a penalty, and then Balassi scored on his debut, which is nice. 1 game played, 3 points. That's awesome to see. But after that episode ended, I did do a few things off camera that we're going to show you guys right now. So first off, you probably noticed that this global transfer network isn't nearly as compact and filled with a bunch of different players that will really be extremely unrealistic. Like there was the likes of Messi, Benzema, all throughout this transfer network thing. So I went ahead and adjusted it finally. I sent out all my scouts out to various places, so we'll go take a look at that right now. In fact, we'll go head over to the transfers page, the global transfer network. I sent this one out to France. Obviously he's still there. We got this guy out to, I'm not sure where they all went to specifically. I'm pretty sure this guy went to Switzerland, this guy went to Norway, and this guy went to, I believe it was Colombia. So those are all pretty realistic places where players could come to for the French League. Obviously, you guys know I like to keep my series somewhat realistic, but at the same time, make sure that the team finds growth in the series at some point, because obviously we're 4 seasons in the Fulham series, and yes, it's been realistic, but we've made lots of progress to be fair, but we haven't really won anything. So it would be great to do the same thing with Nantes, of course, but it's the journey that counts, not the end product. It's the journey that counts. So also, after the last episode ended, I did add a few players to our shortlist to take a look at. We got Opare, Mboji, Kalojijak, Hurto, all there before. Anderson, all there before as well. The next 2 players are players that I added, Adioti and Biogo Poko. Great center defensive midfielders, and I just thought of another player we could add. I'll go add him in just a second for you guys. But Adioti can't play center back, so I thought he'd be perfect because we were needing another center back, but we also need another center defensive mid. So Adioti could be perfect. Poco's just a great player all around. I've used him before. Really good player. We also added Michael Bradley, who could play that CDM role fantastically as well. And I don't know why I'm calling it a CDM role, because I have another thing to show you guys as well. But Michael Bradley could be a great player. And, it's unfortunate he went back to the MLS. Obviously, I'm American, so I should be supporting my league, but I really don't like the MLS all too much. I do like my team, my hometown team. I do watch their games a lot, but I just don't like the MLS. I prefer our talent to stay overseas. Obviously, Bradley played for the likes of Mönchengladbach. He played in England at some point. Can't remember for who. Played for Roma, obviously, as well. But apparently his wife was homesick, so that's why they went back to North America. Obviously for in Canada for Toronto. But I would have liked for him to stay overseas. So we're going to try to bring him back to Europe and play in France, which might be a better scenery for his wife. And obviously Alejandro Bedoya is there, so, could be pretty decent. We got Bahabek, who isn't new, but I just want to explain why I want him. Now, first off, a few players that you're going to see down the line are out on loan, so we wouldn't be able to get them this season, whereas Bahabek, we would be able to get this season, and I think he'd be a pretty realistic signing, given the fact that he really, he plays for PSG from time to time. He's actually played for them a lot this season, but he really isn't the player that they thought that he was going to be. So I think he could be one of those dud players that a top team sees and goes, yeah, he had a lot of potential, but he's not really panning out how he thought he would, so let's go ahead and sell him on. So I think he could be a pretty realistic signing that we bring in. We've got Clinton Inji, who's there before. We got Tievi Bafuma, too. You guys saw in my shortlist on that screen that was always their Global Transfer Network thing that's always on that front page, but I would love to bring him in. He has scored me like 13 goals in 12 games in Ultimate Team, which you might see a squad builder on later at some point this week or in the coming weeks or something like that if I really do like it. I really like that team, if I'm honest, so I probably will show you guys eventually, but he'd be a great player, a pretty realistic player. Obviously was French nationality, but he's now changed to Congo, but he'd be a pretty good signing for us, could be our main striker up front at this point. Due to his rating right now, I'm pretty sure he'd be our highest rated striker. We have Bamu, Saba's playing there at the moment, and Olaitan as well, so he'd probably be our highest rated striker. We've got Mashuga Bakanga, that is. He doesn't have the highest potentials, but I think if we worked with him good enough, he could be a pretty good striker for us. Good pace, great jumping, great agility. He could be an all-around decent player for us in that striking position as a backup option. And that's it. That's all the players we looked at. Now, I said I was going to add someone else. We'll go take a look at him right now. And this player, I think, might be the more realistic signing. Obviously, Sanson was our main target, but he might be a bit too expensive. Obviously, we're looking to sell a few players on our team which aren't selling, but if we're able to sell one, we could offer the amount of money we got back and one of those players. For one of those players, obviously you just saw it was Yunus Sankare, who could fit into the team perfectly. Now, I did mention I was going to show you guys another thing, and that thing is that I changed the formation. Now, this formation is a formation I'm more accustomed to. I use it a lot more often in, Ultimate Team or just regular head-to-head, and it's a formation I really do like. So we were able to put Balassi more up front, which I definitely like a lot as well, and Kudu obviously as well, but Balassi push forward is a lot better. You can't play striker technically, although I think he'd be pretty good in that position, but obviously can't technically play in a striking position, so I want to keep him out on the wing, but I'd rather have him higher up the pitch than, down here by Amavi, so it'd be pretty decent to have him up there. Obviously, it allows for more center mids rather than central defensive mids to play in these CM positions, Taliso, Veratu, Olaitan, Seba, but anyway, as well, if you did miss the last episode, but Zoya got injured. He's out for 3 weeks. I think it's down to 2 weeks now after we simulated a week to this game. So Olaitan's going to step in that position. Can't play Cam, of course, and I think he's better at Cam than striker, in my opinion. His passing's pretty good, so he could be decent for us. Obviously, we're trying to sell Passat. Hansen we might try to sell if we're able to bring in Adioti, and obviously this guy as well, whose name I still can't pronounce. I haven't even tried. I'm not going to try. Those 3 players we're going to try to sell because they're worth quite a bit, so if we can sell them, then obviously we'll have enough money to bring in more players that I want to bring in this window. I really don't want to stop at Taliso, Olaitan, Balassi, and Seba. I think we need to sign a few more players. Oh, and Amavi, of course. I want to sign a few more players to really build this team up. But anyway, I've been talking way too long. Just wanted to give you guys that little update. Now, moving on to the games of this episode, I might play 1 or 2 depending on how long this episode goes, but Metz will be the first game of this episode. We'll take a look at their team in just a second. And the second game, if we somehow get to it, will be against Monaco. Obviously, a much bigger task at hand in that game. They do sit in 4th place now through 1 game, of course, but they are a very good team. Everyone knows that. They aren't doing great in real life. They're just outside of European football, I do believe. But, they're still very strong, have tons of money. Who knows who they could have brought in this transfer window, so we definitely have to be looking out for them. Whereas Metz aren't a great team. They do sit 16th, I do believe. Wrong button. Yeah, they sit 16th in the league right now, which is kind of where they'll probably finish this season, to be honest. But anyway, we already saw our side. Let's go take a look at theirs. So for this game, Metz are rocking up with this. Falcone and Mayiga up front, Maluda and Sar on the wings, Booby Sar on that right-hand side. Maluda, obviously, everyone knows who Florent Maluda is former Chelsea player, former Lyon player as well, could be a big threat for us in this game. Now, I wish Bedoya was in this team. I did retweet one of his tweets along, I don't know, it was probably a month or two ago now, of Bedoya just completely nutmegging Maluda. It was freaking sick, but obviously Bedoya's not in this team for this game, which is unfortunate, but on glance, you can see that they do have a lot of good attacking options. Sarr is very good, Maluda's good, Falcone's good, Maiga's good, but their defense isn't all too great. Not really, names that you see and you go, yeah, I know who that is. He's very good. No, they're not the greatest of defending teams, so definitely gonna be a decent game for us. Hopefully we can bag a few goals and really show that we mean business. Obviously, we've only scored 1 goal from open play. We scored 1 free kick goal and 1 penalty goal. So I want to score more goals from open play in this game. I'm sure a lot of you guys know Metz from Maxwell Cornet, one of those young players that they have in their team that, goes for very cheap in career mode. One of those lower league prospects that people always sign in their career modes, who is actually now moved over to Lyon in real life. I'm not sure if it went over by the time I started this save, which I think was a few days before a lot of the transfers went through, which is a bit annoying. So he probably is still at Metz, to be honest, but that's pretty decent, I guess. But Suarez is still at Lille, I know that for sure, which is why I'm pretty sure a lot of the transfers haven't gone through. Suarez from Lille to Crystal Palace, that hasn't gone through in this career mode, so I'm not sure if I started this a bit too early. I think I did start it a bit too early, but either way, not a big deal. Not many transfers happened in the transfer window, like notable transfers happened in the transfer window, so it won't be too big of a deal. But let's get straight into this game. Oh, a light tan! That was close! So I'm pretty sure this has been one of the most boring games I've ever played of FIFA ever in my life. Nothing has happened whatsoever, and we're coming near the end of the game. So we're going to make a few changes to this team. We're going to bring Adel in for Nkudu, I believe. Yeah, we're going to bring him off for Nkudu. I believe Adel can only play in left, so we'll bring over Balassi over there. We'll take out Tolisso for a Bamu, just have an extra striker on the pitch. Move Alaitan down and Seba to Cam. In fact, we'll put Seba on the wing because he does have more pace than Adel. Adel will play Cam for this game. Not too bad, I guess. So hopefully that will make a bit of a difference. We have just been, I don't know, like, it's been even possession, but the shots, I'm pretty sure we've only legit had 1 real good shot, but I mean, we gotta get something sometime soon, right? Apparently not. No, nothing else can happen, and one of the most boring games I've ever played in my life has ended 0-0. Nothing happening, no side getting a real chance on goal. Very annoying. I mean, I guess I'll take a point, but it would have been a lot better to get 3 points out of that game against Metz, but it is what it is. So let's continue with the transfer window, see if we get any offers through this next week. And then I was planning on only doing 1 game this episode, but with how bad that game was, we're going to do another one. So Adioti just joined Caen, so we can't get him. Bradley, they want 17.5. That's not going to happen. Sankare, 6.5. So he's just as expensive as Morgan Sanson, so it's kind of just a toss-up at who we can get at the moment, if we can get any of them. Hopefully someone sells. I mean, someone has to, surely. Surely someone has to sell. Apparently not. That's really annoying. Really annoying. No offers whatsoever. We get a report from Colombia. That's pretty interesting. I wasn't sure we were going to get any, to be honest. Uribe, who I've heard of, he's pretty good. We got Oscar Murillo, we got Cuellar, Mesa, we got Torres, we got Hernandez, we've got Cardenas, and we got Hernandez again. So not really sure we're gonna be able we're not gonna sign any of them, I guess, but could be decent. We got a few players from France as well. He was already there. Bernardo Silva, we're not going to sign. I don't really like him that much. Fabinho, not going to sign. Ocampos, yeah, I definitely don't think this has gone through. Unless that deal didn't go through. I'm pretty sure there was a deal in place for him to go out on loan to Marseille, but I guess not. Kurzawa is unrealistic. Lopez is unrealistic. Chavaria, I don't want. I might want Pajot, however you want to say his name. Jonas Martin, I might want as well. Lacazette, extremely unrealistic. Gonzalez, unrealistic. Fofana might be realistic, but he's, of course, in my Fulham save, so I'm not going to sign him. Lemoine could be interesting. No, though. Gradle could be realistic. Genevois could be realistic. No. Bahabek we already have. So, we narrowed that down a bit, but nothing has happened, of course. Let's see if Bedoya is not going to be fit, of course, but let's see what changes we're going to make to this team, if any. But yeah, Bedoya is still injured. It looks like he's almost full fitness, which is obviously a good sign. But we're going to keep this team exactly the same. I mean, it played good in that first game we played, so, I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, we didn't play with this team in the first game, but it played decent in that last game, and the majority of the players played good in the first game of the season, so, you know, we don't really need to change it up too much, but let's get into this game against Monaco. Obviously, a very good side. We're at home for this one. Let's take a look at their team. So here is their side for this game. Very, very solid team. Moutinho, Toulouland, and Kondogbia in the midfield. That is ridiculous to come up against. They got Ferreira, Carrasco on the left-hand side, German up front at striker, and Nabil Durar in at that right-hand side as well. He's a very dangerous player, so it's going to be a tough game. I'm pretty sure their only weakness is their striker, in my opinion, but obviously that will probably come back to haunt me, and they'll probably score at least 1 or 2 goals this game, but let's get straight into it. Penalty! I mean, I wasn't even seeing that coming. But alrighty, I'll take a penalty. Veretout, of course, scored one in the first episode, which means he's going to score another penalty goal for us here. And he'll still have not scored an open play goal, but would have 3 on the season. Interesting. Veretout going to go left a bit, and he does. And he scores against Monaco. Good to see. Jordan Veretout, the main man of the squad, gets his 3rd of the season. 24 yards out, Jordan Veretout. Let's see what he can do from the free kick. Veretout banging it. Oh, it almost went in as well. What a save from Subasic. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh my god. Full time, 1-0 the final score. That penalty being the deciding goal. You've still only scored 1 open play goal throughout 3 games, but hey, if we're getting wins, we're getting wins. And if we're getting wins against top quality opposition, man, you can see by the stats, they did kind of have more shots than us, even possession, even shots on target wise, but still, to get a win against a top quality opponent, you want to see every single day of the week. Now, I'm going to simulate forward for the rest of the week and see if anything happens, and then we'll end off the episode. Player injured, Yannick Bolasie out for 3 weeks. That's fantastic. He did get injured in the game. He was off the pitch, and I didn't understand why. But obviously, now we can see why. And yes, definitely the transfers didn't go through. I mean, you can see that Seydou Doumbia is now at Atletico Madrid. So apparently he's not at Roma, which obviously is his team now. So I did start this career mode just a few days too early, but it won't make a difference down the line. Like maybe a year or 2 down the line, we'll be thinking, oh yeah, that happens. But transfer offer, finally, for a player we don't want. 1.6. Are we in the position to even be bargaining at this point? Probably not, but we're going to anyway. 2.1, we're going to counter offer for this guy from Nice. Could be decent to get some money for him, obviously. We've got a few updates that we probably don't need to look at, but we'll look at him anyway. Nyland's very good. Other than that, no one really worth noting. And then Embolo, obviously, I'm not going to sign because he's extremely unrealistic. Cher could be, he is probably unrealistic as well, but he is available on a free at the end of the season. Who else we got? No one else really worth noticing. Chikawi, obviously, as well, but definitely not going to be signing him. I just don't like Chikawi too much, but yeah, we'll go ahead and see. Yeah, we have a few days left to see if anything else happens. Then transfer deadline day will be in the next episode, so we'll have to wait. You guys will have to wait and see what happens in that episode, of course, which will be out tomorrow. Like I said, I want to get 2 not screw modes out in a row just because there were 2 Fulham videos out in a row, but we can see they're going to go ahead with the contract. That's good, and Al Hadir is going to go out to Châteauroux on loan. That's cool for him. He is higher rated than I thought he would be, 62, but still, we'll get a few more euros on the wage budget, which is nice to see. We have 1 more day. Let's see if that money goes through, and then we'll submit our offers for the 2 players. Player sold. Yep, he's gone. We have some money now to work with, 1.8 million to be precise. And we'll go ahead and submit our deals for the 2 players we're going to be going for, which is Sanson. Actually, 3 players. Sanson, Bahabek, and Sankare we're going to go for this window. So, actually, we could even try to loan list him, but, hey, we'll try to do it the other way as well. Basat, where are you? We're going to try to send you over to PSG since you're worth a bit more money. And we'll offer over 1.5 plus Basat. That accumulates to 4 million, if I'm correct, right? 1.5 plus 2 is 3.5. Yeah, 4 million. Okay, I'm not totally dumb. I did not mean to do that. I always seem to press the wrong button. Sankare, we can see right here. We'll go ahead and offer him a deal. Same thing, most likely 1.5 plus, plus what's his face, Bassat. See if that's accepted, and then we'll offer the same thing to Sanson. Now, I guess I probably should have ended the episode and just told you guys I was going to do that, but yeah, that's the only offers we're going to do. I'm going to end the episode here. You can end the episode off with me just sending this offer to Sanson. So if you guys did enjoy this episode, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. I really love when I see the like target go up a lot higher than I expected, like on the first 2 videos of this series. Like I said, there's going to be another episode of this out tomorrow, which will be, of course, transfer deadline day, that game against Montpellier. I'm not sure who the other opponent we play in the episode will be, but again, if you did enjoy the episode, please leave a like on it. I've been TRayALLDay, and I'll see you guys next time.